Hi there, a warm hello from Brazil. I'm Renato Rodrigues, and it's a shame I can't be there with you. I'm sad to miss our meetup, but I'm very excited to talk to you in this video about an experience that changes the way I think about farming for the better. Getting the Nuffield scholarship was a real big deal for me. I knew for the beginning that it would be a chance to grow, but what I found out on this journey was way more than I expected. It's really opened my eyes and made me want to do more, much more for our planet. With Nuffield, I've traveled so far, physically from the huge farms in central Brazil and Texas to the high-tech farms in Germany and much more. Every place I every place had something new to teach me, and all those lessons have changed how I think, how I work, and I brought these lessons back home. But it wasn't just the places, it was the people, farmers, experts, teachers, innovators, who told me about their dreams and struggles. Talking with them keeps me learning and adapting. This kind of learning is full of life, always changing, and it never stops. So I think that is the real concept of lifelong learning that is the basis for Nuffield. So be here telling you this story. It's not just about what happened. It's an invite to work together for a future where everyone thrives. It's about sparking that same excitement and creativity in all of us to make real change in the world. The trust from Nuffield, Nuveen, and TGCA has really helped me grow. Thanks to your support, I can find and push that's good for both our wallets and our world. So I'm very thankful for this journey and for the chance to share it with you. Let's keep learning, growing, and doing things together. Thanks for joining this adventure, and let's be the change we want to be in the world. Now let's take a look at my background. I started with biology, then I got an MBA focused on environmental science, and I didn't stop until I finished my master and PhD in environmental geochemistry. I also picked up another MBA in management, which has really helped me drive change in the environmental sector and in some positions at Embrapa and after Embrapa in the private sector. My work has taken me to a lot of places. Now I am the head of business development at Agoro Carbon Alliance in Brazil, leading business efforts. Before that, I got into agricultural advancements as head of region for Regrow Ag. And before that, I spent 12 good years as a researcher at Embrapa. So with roles in integration crop livestock forest network and as part of groups like IPCC and the UNFCCC, hoster of experts, I have pushed for farming that's good for our planet. But there's much more to life than work, so my family, my wife Marcela and our daughters Luisa and Alice, lighted up my life. I love staying active with sports. I'm into music, enjoy tasting great food, and find time to get lost in books. I'm totally crazy about books. So these things keep me grounded and happy. My Nuffield journey kicked off at the CSC in the UK in 2022. That's where I met some of the brightest minds in farming all around the world, and it was the perfect start to a trip that would change the way I saw agriculture. Then I hit the road on my own. I went to Paraguay, and there I saw how old farming traditions are blending with new ideas, and the beginning of the exploration of a new area that was the Chaco in Paraguay. In Central Brazil was up next, where I learned how farms are boosting their crops and taking care of the land at the same time. The US was whole different world, from big cities like New York to sunny fields in California and all the tech stuff in Silicon Valley. It was great to know this new whole world. But each place had its own way of doing farming and research about agriculture, and that was very smart and thought for its place. Then the GFP trip took me even farther, from South Brazil to Texas, over to Germany, and all the way to Ireland. I got to see everything from Germany's super smart farming to Ireland's green fields. So every stop on this trip, on this Nuffield trip, taught me something new about farming works around the globe. It's made me even more dedicated to sustainable farming and pushing new ideas. So I'm really thankful for all these experiments and experience that have opened up my. I will give you a quick glimpse into my research. Green Harvest, Brazil's farm on the carbon frontier. My goal with this project is to explore how Brazil farms can lead in the fight against climate change by turning carbon into one more crop in the production system. I'm looking into ways to boost farm yields and profits while putting carbon out of the air. It's exciting work that could make a big difference for our planet and Brazil's future in agriculture. Stay tuned for the full story. I'd like to walk you through a theoretical model of the carbon market, which is is a crucial mechanism for our fight against climate change. Here we have a graph that plots the balance of GHG emissions and carbon sequestration over time. On the y-axis, we have tons of CO2 equivalent, and the x-axis represents the progression over time. Note that I put three trajectories. The first one is business as usual. This illustrates the emissions and absorptions if no change or no projects are implemented. It's our baseline scenario. In scenario A represents a situation where a project is implemented, but with modest gains. Emissions are lower compared to business as usual, but not as significantly as we might like. Finally, we have scenario B, which shows a more ambitious project that greatly reduces emissions and enhances carbon sequestration. The key takeaway from this model is the importance of project implementation to alter the course of the business as usual. The right projects can not only reduce emissions but also increase carbon sinks, and this is totally possible to do in agriculture. Ultimately, the carbon market incentivizes reducing emissions below these scenarios. By trading carbon credits, companies can finance projects that lead to scenario B, creating a win-win for the environment and the economy. In summary, this model encapsulates how strategic interventions in the carbon market can bend the curve from the unsustainable business as usual towards a more sustainable and green future. Shift our focus to the carbon market in number. This slide presents a compelling picture of the growth and potential within the carbon trading sector. On the left, we have a bar chart illustrating the exponential growth in volume trade within the voluntary carbon market from 2017 to 2021. It's evident that there's been a significant surge, especially from 2020 to 2021, where we see an increase that leaps into the billions of US dollars. This uptick reflects a growing commitment to sustainability from companies worldwide, a trend that's not only encouraging but also indicative of a paradigm shift in a global business practice. Now, let's glance at the right-hand side of the slide, where we break down the volume of carbon credits by category, measured in millions of tons of CO2 equivalent. The standout performer here is forestry, contributing a substantial 115 megatons of CO2 equivalent. But agriculture is still small in this graph because the methodology is brand new. So we didn't have time yet to grow the carbon credit emission from agriculture sector, but in the next year this amount will increase a lot. Uh, Highlighting the bottom section of the slide, we project by the year 2030 the carbon market could be worth between 100 and 120 billion dollars per year. Brazil, with its vast agricultural potential, is poised to meet half of this market's demand, underscoring the country's importance of the global stage when it comes to carbon trading and environmental stewardship. This data is not just numbers on a graph. It represents real-world efforts and potential for making a difference in the health of our planet. As we look towards the future, this trend offers a roadmap for investment, development, and strategic growth in the carbon market. I will leave you with this thought. The growth we are seeing here is not just good for the environment, it's good for business, it's good for economies, and it's good for the global community. It highlights the transformative practices in agriculture that are eligible under the VERRA methodology, the VM0042. These practices are designed to enhance sustainability and reduce carbon footprints within the agricultural sector. But these practices are very well known by Brazilian farms. We have huge areas of this technology in Brazil, such as cover crops, no-till farming, moving on integration crop livestock and livestock forestry. We have more than 20 million hectares of integration systems in Brazil, improving grazing practices, fertilizer management, improving fertilizer management, water management and irrigation. So collectively, these interventions not only contribute to carbon mitigation, but also to the overall resilience and productivity of agricultural systems. As we stand at the intersection of agriculture and climate action, Brazil's ABC plan, that is the Low Carbon Agriculture Plan, represents not just a policy, but a pledge for the future. Enacted as part of our commitment to the climate change national policy and governed by COP15, the ABC plan is our sector blueprint for sustainable development in the face of climate change. This plan is a cornerstone of Brazil's strategy to marry mitigation and adaptation to climate change with the advancement of a low-carbon economy. It's a vision that extends from now until 2030, setting tangible targets that promise a greener, more sustainable future. By 2025, we aim for a 37% reduction in carbon emissions from the baseline year of 2005, growing bolder by 2030 with a target of 43%. This is not just aspiration, it's actionable commitment. Our objective under this ambitious plan is to expand the adoption of ABC practices across a staggering of 72.68 million hectares, with the goal of mitigation over 1 billion tons of carbon by 2030. This is not just farming, it's a revolution in the very way we interact with our land and the atmosphere. We combine recovery of degraded pastures, crop livestock forest integration, no-till farm into a formula, and many other practices, into a formula that could place Brazil at the vanguard of the global carbon market. By 2030, we could be addressing 5%, about 5% of the global carbon market into $4 billion per year. And let me paint this picture. Had we harnessed this potential in 2022, this practice would have ranked at the sixth product of Brazil's agricultural export agenda. This is more than an economic triumph. It's a testament to Brazil's unwavering commitment as a major global player in the agricultural sector, with the vision and capability to foster change that resonates worldwide. This is Brazil's moment on the global stage, to lead, to innovate, and to sustainably nurture the land that feeds us all. In a nation at the forefront of a new green revolution, a country with an expansive canvas of almost 200 million hectares of grasslands, an area surpassing the cumulative size of several countries in Europe. This is Brazil, a key player on the global agriculture stage. Yet beneath its a verdant clock lies a latent narrative of underperformance and degradation. Brazil hosts a staggering 200 million cattle, a testament to its agricultural wealth. However, despite the impressive numbers, these herds grapple with low productive rates, a challenge underscored by technical inefficiency rather than a lack of resources. As we peer closer, we uncover that 50% of Brazil's grasslands uh, bear the scars of degradation. This critical state is not just an environmental concern, but a significant bottleneck in economic performance, revealing a paradox of vast potential constrained by outdated practice. Now, consider the photo displayed here, which captures a stark dichotomy, a juxtaposition of overexploited land against the backdrop of what could be achieved with a shift in agricultural paradigms. It is a powerful visual allegory of Brazil's present and the future it can aspire to through strategic action. In the narrative of Brazilian agriculture, scientific innovation, and policy reforms are the catalyst for change. Implementing sustainable agricultural practices such as crop livestock integration and optimized grazing systems are more than ecological imperatives, they are robust economic opportunities. By aligning with carbon projects, Brazil stands to not only revitalize its grassland, but to position itself as a lucrative hub for carbon trading, attracting global investment. Such transformation aligns with political strategies aimed at sustainable development goals, resonating with the ethos of responsible investment in a world increasingly attuned to environmental governance. As stewards of this narrative, we recognize that Brazil's agricultural saga is at a crossroads of unprecedented opportunity. With scientific ingenuity, political will, and technical refinement, Brazil can pivot from the status quo and embrace a future where its grasslands are not only a cornerstone of national prosperity, but also a beacon of global sustainability. Let us embark on this venture together, where investing is not just a matter of capital, but a commitment to a sustainable and profitable future. Brazil's Green Revolution is not merely an opportunity, it's a call to action, a chapter yet to be written in the annals of agricultural innovation. Tackling climate change, the goal is to turn degraded pastures into productive lands. We need to shift from the usual way, where too few cattle lead to wasted land and too much CO2, to far smarter farming that puts more cattle on healthier pastures, cutting down GHG emissions. With advanced systems like integration crop livestock and livestock forestry, we are doing even better. We can do even better. More cattle, more crops, more carbon trapped in the soil. We are also mixing in trees, which is great for the environment and the farmers. So step by step, you can farm smarter, saving the planet and making more money with carbon credits. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I'd like to express my deepest thanks. The Nuffield Scholarship has been an extraordinary gift. It has led me through a journey of discovery and growth, reshaping my vision for agriculture and sustainability. And today I'm standing before you enriched with new insights and fueled by optimism. I'm eager to apply what I've learned to foster positive change in the farming practice of my home country, Brazil, and beyond. So this is an invitation to all of us to embrace sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture, carbon market, to contribute to a thriving and resilient future for farming globally. Thank you so much for accompanying me on this remarkable path. With our combined efforts, I'm confident that we can achieve great strides in creating a more sustainable world. So thank you so much again, and let's keep making a positive impact together. Goodbye.